Hello and welcome to another video on the console version for TERA. Now this is some very interesting news as IGN got hands-on with the PlayStation 4 version of TERA, which can show us an insight on what we can expect. Now before we get into this, I am going to say that this is already video that has been uploaded, so when I upload it the quality is going to look like shit because YouTube is going to compress it once more. And the fact that this is an early beta, so a lot of features may be missing and there'll still be tons of optimization to go through, etc, etc. You should know the drill by now. So we start with this gameplay over here. I'm just going to turn down volume on my headset. The first thing you're going to notice is the fact that it's running at 60 frames a second. I actually thought this was going to be impossible to do. If you go back and watch my original video on what my predictions were for the console version, I was predicting it to be like a sub-native revolution, running at 30 frames a second at maximum. But this is incredible. They put in a hell of a lot of work into this console version. Now, what I am going to point out is the fact that the character is called PSX1, which stands for the PlayStation version and the Xbox One version. So this could entirely be running on a PC with a console UI. But we'll find out pretty soon when the console beta goes live, roughly next week. Another thing we're going to be noticing in this video is the popping. As you can see in the background there was a little tower there that's popping in and out just from like the distance, so that is very noticeable. As you can see through this fight, you'll see little things going in and out at a fairly close range really compared to what you can do on the PC. Another thing is the grass. Grass is missing everywhere. As you can see, there's a little bit there. But there's usually like little bits of grass all over the place to try and break up the fact that the ground is just one solid texture. That all seems to be missing as well, but like I said, this is a beta and that could be coming in later on. Another big thing is the shadow for the general environments are missing. Now they could have turned this off for the sake of the video, but it is very much an eyesore currently. As you can see, that pillar in front of us is not portraying any kind of shadows, yet you and the enemy are. Another thing which I would like to point out is, as you can see in the mountains in the distance, the actual texture quality seems to decrease quite rapidly at short distance. In the top left hand corner, as you can see there, it looks like it's become utter Play-Doh in the background. When on PC, much longer range, I know the PCs are generally quite stronger. My PC is quite comparable to the base PlayStation 4, a little bit stronger in terms of CPU, but it is quite an eyesore in this video that the distance is such a poorly rendered texture quality. I can see this video is going to keep going on for another 10 minutes, by the way. You can see all the stuff popping in and out of the background. There is blood splatter there, which is quite nice to see. There is a little hiccup there. And you can see that wasn't the video itself, that was the game. There is a bit of a hiccup, so I highly doubt this is going to keep a solid 60 frames a second when in a dungeon or in a raid. That's obviously going to plummet down to 30. I would not be surprised if they lock it to 30 when in a dungeon, or if there's lots of combat going on, just to try and help with the frame rate to avoid any kind of screen tearing. Another thing is the UI. Now if you look at the bottom of the screen, this seems a hell of a lot cleaner than what the PC version is. So you have your health bar, your mana bar, that's the same, but it's your skill bar, which is quite the interesting thing. So you have your 4 buttons all like separated out. So you have the up, down, left and right on your D-pad, which can be used for potions, your mounts, and I believe that is a megaphone. And then on the other side we have the square, triangle, X and circle, which are your skills, with R1 being attack, R2 being a dodge, R3 being the lock on, and I don't know what the R2 symbol is, and you got L3 for running, I believe. When you press L1, however, it flips the actual bar, so you then get another set of skills. It's kind of like Dragon Age, where you'd hold down R2, look, there he goes, where you'd hold down R2 and then you'd get a second set of skills which you can use, but then when you release it you go back down to your base skills. You have the buffs up the top left hand corner. There is no cash shop anywhere on the screen, which is quite interesting. None of the whole dungeon entrance things, none of the whole settings are on the screen to being displayed. As you know, on the PC version, you usually have like a little bar which has like party, guild, cash shop, settings and all that. That is completely non-existent on this version. If I switch videos, however, onto this one, this will show the UI of the whole PlayStation 4 version. So here we are. He's going to open up the menu in just a second. Now look at this. I'm going to pause the video here. this is the menu. This is basically that little bar that we usually have on PC up the top there, which I was just talking about. This is basically the start menu. So you have your system, you have the TERA store, obviously you have your quick matchmaking, which will probably be for PvP and dungeons, your world map, your social, your character. And this is the character info screen. As you know on PC, when you open up your character screen, you have your gear, and then down below you have a little tiny box which contains all your stats, and then you have little tabs which go over your basic stats and your other things, and then your dungeon resets, etc, etc. On this, everything is compiled into one single little screen for you to see, and it is very, very clear. I absolutely love what they've done here, and I'm very, very tempted just to dump the PC version for the console version at this point. I'm really hoping they keep this information because it's so clear with how they've set it up. So as you can see here, this is the inventory screen. On the right hand side you have your typical equipped items that's still set out in the same way as on PC, but of course the innerwear, the belts, and your brooches have all been moved places. And of course at the bottom of the little screen below your gear, you don't have any of the information there that you would, because that was on the previous page which we were just talking about. Now if you look on the left hand side of the screen, this shows all the items in your inventory which you could then equip onto your character. It shows you all the little upgrades, it shows you all the stats of your gear right in the middle, and you use your right stick to then go down and view more stats. You have the simple X to equipped, X to unequipped. It seems very much like Borderlands really, or some kind of action RPG. I do believe IGN said it was more like Devil May Cry than World of Warcraft. And another thing is the inventory space. Look on the bottom right hand corner, I've only just noticed this, you have the inventory space. It actually tells you how much inventory you have, so it's not like the PC version where you have a little box up, like, you know, like the typical World of Warcraft where you have a little bag in there where you like fill up little slots. You actually have a little list on this left hand side which then fills up, so it is basically very much like Dragon Age in that respect. Okay, and as you can see here, when he uses R1 and L1, he goes across to different tabs, and in these different tabs will be your different gear. As you can see, the second tab will have armor, the third tab will have like rings and accessories and all that, and then you have like your what are they, glyphs? Yeah, they're the glyphs, the ones which like you equip onto your weapons and your gears and your earrings. You got your potions, you got your recipes, you got your blacksmithing stuff, and all that. Now he's gone across to a different tab using like the R2 and L2, which then goes to now skills, and this is how you like buy your skills and upgrade them, put glyph points into them, etc, etc, to unlock the different things. And you can see you can press L3 to reset the glyphs in the current skill. You can then use R3 to add it to a shortcut, press square to use it directly from the menu, press X to look at the glyphs and like upgrade them at all. Now it's kind of hard to see because he is a level 65 character, so he hasn't bought anything, but I presume it would go the same way as the PC version, where you would just like straight up buy them on the list, like all the ones which can be upgraded and bought will be pushed to the top of the list, and then you can buy them and then they go back to a certain order. As you can see there, he's going to probably buy that glyph, hopefully. Come on guy, don't let me down. Come on. No, he's not going to do it, but as you saw there, he pressed X on a skill which brought him to the right hand side of the screen, which allowed him to select either one of these two abilities and then put his glyph points into whichever one he felt like. And then when he pressed R2 again, he's now gone into the quest log, which is very well done. I absolutely love what he's done with the quest log. Now, I don't think he displayed any of the quest trackers, but I presume it's going to be set up like PC where it just sits on the right hand side of your screen. I'm kind of hoping they do something about the Vanguard quest to stop them spamming up the screen whenever you kill one random monster. But you can see it's as simple like left hand side as a scroll down, you can display the quest marker, and then on the right hand side you've got all the information about the quest, which I presume you can scroll down using the right stick. Now he's moved across to the next tab, which is all the achievements and stuff. I don't know whether these will be trophies or actual achievements on the consoles. I'm kind of hoping they have a nice easy list instead of something really, really stupid and difficult. But this is how it's set out. As you can see, you have the little list on the side. It's basically set out the same as PC version. There's nothing really much changed here. Now the UI did just take quite a while to load in there, which I presume might be a bug or it just might be a slow loading UI, because we know the PC version's UI does cause quite a lot of lag, especially when the sound effects are enabled. Now I've just paused the video here just a second to let you see. In the quick matchmaking, we had the Vanguard request, the instant matching, battleground matching, and reset instances. Now it is kind of weird to have the Vanguard quests inside the quick matchmaking, but I suppose they had nowhere else to put it. So you can see you got your dungeons, battlegrounds, and you can reset your instance from this screen. Another thing I have just noticed is on the bottom right hand corner, as you can see down here, you can press triangle to change channels. So they are encompassing the whole switching channels type thing on the console version as well. I was kind of presuming they would just have a single channel like throughout the whole game, apart from like towns and cities where you get phased into a different channel if it becomes overcrowded. So on this screen, he's opened up the Vanguard request. It doesn't look any different than the PC version. It basically says you press triangle to receive your reward when you have completed it, and you press X to get more details, etc, etc. There's nothing too much to go on with this. When he goes to instant matchmaking, you can see we have all this. It's basically set up the same way as the PC yet again. So you can select your dungeon, and on the right hand side it'll list the gear for you, and you can simply press X to select it and join the queue. But yeah, that is it for the whole system and gameplay. It does look very nice, and I'm very impressed that it is running at 60 frames a second. It will be interesting to see how well this runs on the base PlayStation 4 and the base Xbox One, because this is running on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But yeah, this was the first look at TERA on the console, on the PS4. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back when, well, if I get into the actual console beta with some raw footage, but do note that that will be at 720p 30 frames a second, because that's the only way I can record off console. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. And a thank you to IGN for getting this page up, showing us what TERA is going to be like on consoles. Bye bye.